Welcome to KJTV. And since this is a time of which we are nearing towards Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day is one of the days which is heavily celebrated. And it's estimated that this year 163.7 million will be spent by Hallmark to buy greeting cards. And Valentine's Day has become almost the whole world celebration. People celebrate, but do they really know the original St. Valentine Day? And you see, this is celebrated in many countries on February 14. So people don't, even some of the people who celebrate it, they don't understand where it came from. And they have heard all this, but they don't know where actually it came from. People, but why? How did this holiday become a holiday of love and romance? How did it come? Have you ever asked yourself that question? It's quite interesting, and there are so many theories about Valentine's Day. Sure, there are many stories, but there is one in my research I found a story which really explains where Valentine's came from. In 2060 AD, there was a Roman emperor, that is during the Roman Empire. One Roman emperor called Claudius II. He forbade Roman soldiers to marry, for he considered this it will severely diminish their efficiency, strength, and lack of mercy in the battlefield. Now, so young men were not to be married. It was then that there was one Catholic priest who was known as Saint Valentine, who conducted weddings in secret for men who wanted to those who wanted to get married, so they could get married in secret because the emperor did not want them. For this reason, when Claudius discovered that this Catholic priest was doing that, he was arrested and was thrown into jail by the emperor. So he was put under vigilance of one prefect called Astarius, who was the director of the prison and who was very arrogant. You know, even he had challenged Valentine before that regarding his alleged healing powers. You know, they were saying that he could do that. So a ruthless man, and he requested Valentine while in his jail to restore the gift of sight to his daughter Julia, who was born blind. So Valentine placed his hand over Julia and prayed to God, and Julia was able to see. Astarius, a proud man who was arrogant, was really very happy, and he believed about Christianity, and then he actually converted to Christianity plus the members of his family. So when the emperor discovered, because this that he had converted the people, he was so annoyed, so he decided now that all of this, he ordered Valentine to be beheaded, because the penalty was dead for trying that at that time. And that's one of the things people don't know, that at that time Christianity was not allowed, and the early Christians suffered persecution. So that's what happened, and he was beheaded. And before he was beheaded, Valentine wrote a letter to Julia, because Julia, the daughter of the jailer, and he signed it from your Valentine, saying, "Goodbye, Julia. because he had fallen in love with Julia. And this became the recorded history of Valentine, and this day from that time has been celebrated because of that story. Although it was not, it cannot be claimed that it was in February, but what happened, he was buried in Rome, near Flaminia. Christians exhumed his body and moved it to the city of Ten, where actually he came from, and then he became the patron of the city. A basilica, a church, was built in Ten, dedicated to Saint Valentine. His remains still lay there. Now, over 200 years later, in 1495, in order to censor this unholy, there was an unholy pagan festival of love and fertility in Rome, which was called Lupercalia. It was celebrated by the Romans. And during this Lupercalia, which happened to be February 14, where people would just come and put their names, girls would put their names, and if a man picks the name of a girl, he would live with this girl for 1 year. So to Christianize Saint Valentine, so they started celebrating Valentine's Day during this time. So the Catholic, this was done by Pope Gelasius I. So he changed that old pagan festival to be a day now they are celebrating Valentine. So that is how Valentine Day came about. So Lupercalia is the ancient Roman fertility festival, and it had nothing to do with this. And no matter what, people celebrate now, but it's always good to understand where this came from. And even during this time, other people have documented it, that this also marked, that February 14 marked the date when birds began mating. So even birds began mating at that. No matter what it is a period and a time of love that people come together and celebrate and renew their vows and remember so many things. Love has taken many people aback. Love is something people live with, but it's always good to celebrate love. In history, men have died because of love. Men have killed because of love. Men have gone to build kingdoms because of love. So it's a very important occasion that I would like everybody to take seriously. People even, and I always tell this story, that even when I was growing up, we were being told about the mystery of love. That you would have to do. Men have tried to find a way of being loved by women. And I was told when I was growing up, as a passage of right, there was a small bird called onchimbo in my local language, but I don't know how it's called in other language or English, and I will find that out. Because this male bird will have several female birds together. So all men grew up thinking that if you can have a piece of that bird, you will be attracted to women. Women will love you. So, but it was very hard to kill this, to catch this bird. I tried all my best. I was one of the sharpest shooters in the area, but I could not make it. So one day I assembled all men in the area who were very sharp, so they would come to help me catch this bird. so that I can have even a better, so that I can have that powers to be loved. We tried, we could not trap it, or we cannot kill it. After I did all that, I said, oh, if I failed to kill Onjimbo, but if I use all of these strategies, nothing could defeat me. So no matter, do you have also your Onjimbo you are looking about? I tried that because it was a myth. I don't know, I don't think there was any reason. It's only that people were just saying that if it could attract so many females, and if you have something that will transcend to you. So even the Roman had myths. You can see even Christianity, the Pope, they changed this myth of love, and then they changed it. So this happens all along. So no matter what, I think it's good to celebrate. Like now, if you join in the Twin Cities, if you are within the Twin Cities, I think there will be a celebration at Sunrise Hotel on February 16, where the couples will be meeting for Valentine's Day. Is an evening of fun. So if you can be able to come, the door cover per person is $50, and if you can plan to attend, it will be a wonderful evening where people will share love and have, no matter where the history has come from, it will be a good evening for everybody. So we will be looking to see you there during that 2016, which will be meaning February 16th. So we will all be there, and we will be covering it and making great. So no matter how it came from, let us come and celebrate love, and which is very important for everybody. So I wish to see you there.